Okay, this is the vertex form. Remember, A and HK are going to be your vertex. So the A just kind of tells you how wide and whether it's going up or down. So, all right, stay tuned for a couple more problems to be worked. Okay, on this particular problem, notice that we want x minus, but instead we have x plus, so your vertex is going to be opposite of the 2, so that's going to be a negative 2, and of course the k, the y value, it would be negative 1, and that will be your vertex. Okay, now remember, from your vertex, so if I were to graph this, negative 2, negative 1 should be here, and your axis of symmetry goes through your vertex. So your axis of symmetry would be x equals negative 2. Okay, so let's do a quick recount of finding the vertex. Notice you take the opposite of this, so it's going to be a 1, 1. That's your vertex. On this one, you take the opposite of this, so that's a negative 5 and negative 6. On this particular one, it's going to be a positive 6 and a positive 4. Now, on this one, I want you to notice something. Change this up a little bit. Notice there's an 8, so that's going to be negative 8, but there's nothing out here. So when there's nothing out here, remember, you just put a 0, and that's where the vertex is. Now, this last one, I've kind of tried to trick you a little bit. If you notice, there's no parentheses here. However, this is the same as saying y equals x plus 0 squared, and then, of course, plus 1. So in this case, the x value would be 0, the y value would be 1. So there's your HK, and that would be your vertex. Okay, now you're going to learn how to complete the square, so that way you can do it. You can take a trinomial and put it in vertex form. Okay, 4 steps you need to be aware of. First, you're going to isolate the x squared and x by moving c to the other side. Number 2 is you're going to find the greatest common factor only from the numbers for x squared and x. Those are the coefficients. And then you're going to divide b divided by 2, then you're going to square it. And then whatever you get after you square it, you're going to add the result to both sides. Step 1, move the 5 over to the other side. Now, the second step, remember, you have to find the GCF of the middle term of the x squared and the x. In doing so, I'm going to divide both of these by a 2, put the 2 right here in front, and you want to make sure you leave a space right here on both sides. Next, you're going to take b, and you're going to divide by 2 and square it. So what you end up getting is you take negative 2 divided by 2 and square right here, and negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And negative 1 squared is positive 1. And that is what you put right here. Now, notice you have a 2 out front. So that means when you distribute this back, that's 2 times 1. And that's what you want to put here, 2 times 1. So now you got to clean things up. So this is y minus 5 plus 2 equals 2. Now remember, this whole thing becomes a perfect square trinomial. And that factors into x minus 1 times x minus 1, which you can then rewrite as y minus 3 equals 2 times, and you're going to shorten this as x minus 1 squared. Next step, you add the 3 to both sides. Then, once you move the 3 back over to the other side, what you're going to do, that cancels out, and you get y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared plus 3. And there you have your 1, your 3, which is your vertex. So your axis of symmetry would be x equals 1. Okay, I'm going to quickly walk through this problem. I want you to pay attention, listen to my instructions. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to get the 42 to the other side. Rewrite, and you get y minus 42 equals 3x squared plus 24x. This might be a good idea to leave a little space here, so y minus 42 plus, and remember that 3 goes in front, so 3 times something equals, now I'm going to factor out a 3 here, so I get 3, and this is going to be x squared plus 8x. And I'm going to put a plus and go ahead and put a space there for when I square the b. Okay, remember, here's your b. So your b is 8. You're going to take half of it, and then you're going to square it. So half of 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So notice I have a 16 here. Then, notice I put the 16 here and 16 here. So I got y minus 42. 3 times 16 is 48. Equals 3. Now remember, this is a perfect square trinomial. So this is going to be x plus 4 times x plus 4, because the factors of 16 that add to give 8 are 4 and 4. Then, remember, you're going to simplify this right here. So negative 42 plus 8 gives you y plus 6 equals 3 times, and you're going to rewrite this as x plus 4 squared. All right, now that you've got this cleaned up, you're going to move the 6 back over, and when you rewrite this, you'll be in vertex form. So y equals 3 times x plus 4 squared minus 6, which gives you your vertex of negative 4, negative 6, and your axis of symmetry of x equals negative 4. Enjoy your evening.